I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, let's get it.
3, 2.
Sorry. One,
Yeah, all right, let's go.
All right.
Hello, here we are.
Hello.
This is the For a Laugh podcast, episode 49. We are edging closer and closer to that sweet, wonderful episode 50. We all know it's going to be an absolute banger, so
Got a lot planned.
get ready for that, ladies and gents.
What do you think?
Yeah, I know. It's going to be very exciting. But in the meantime, until we have episode 50 knocking on our doorstep, I want to start off today's episode just jumping right into the news. That's a bit of a topical reference for everyone following the news. But we're not going to talk about Keemstar at all. We're going to talk about this pretty insane, actually, Joe Rogan news that's been that kind of came out in the news cycle at the moment. So basically what has happened, we're just going to put that there. Yeah, here we are. And we're going to get wide. So this is the news. This is just a thread I saw about it. So before I get to that, I'll just give a bit of a backstory. Joe Rogan obviously hosts probably the most popular podcast in the entire world, basically. And because of that, you know, he is obviously someone that is very valuable to a platform like YouTube and to any podcasting platforms that he might go on. You know, audio, he brings a lot of listeners. I've seen statistics saying he gets about 190 million listeners a month.
Shit.
Which is insane. I mean, 190 million, that's just wild.
Wow.
So he gets that many listeners. He would make a fuck ton of money from the actual show. But basically the news came out. So at the moment, Joe streams his show on YouTube for free. He goes the full show on YouTube, the full video and audio episodes. And then later he uploads clips to the JRE Clips channel. And I think he also uploads the audio to Apple Podcasts. But it came out, and previously to this, Spotify had not been hosting any of Joe Rogan's episodes, right? You couldn't even listen to his podcast on Spotify if you wanted to. Yeah. And basically it came out that Joe and Spotify went into this, what would you call it? Like a licensing deal over a couple of years. And it's estimated to be that they paid Joe Rogan $100 million at least. I've heard estimates that it was up to like 200 million possibly. But just to go through, just to kind of give you a rundown for anyone who's curious, this Twitter thread is really good by this guy Mippo at Michael PPO. And basically he lays out, so the Twitter thread says, yesterday Spotify announced a $100 million exclusive partnership with Joe Rogan. $100 million sounds like a lot of money, but is it really? Time to look into who is the real winner of this deal. So basically it says here, Joe Rogan has 190 million downloads a month. And part of this, not just part of the success, but also part of the thing that makes it a very juicy podcast to have on a platform is the fact that the episodes are over 2 hours long. Mm-hmm. So for advertisers and just anyone who wants an audience, that's incredibly valuable. He puts out episodes every single day, and you know, he doesn't shy away from controversy. As you can obviously see the GIF, you know, he has Alex Jones on, he has really controversial people, both from all kinds of political fields. And basically, just to compare, this thread says that, you know, a lot of really big traditional media companies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars and just still cannot achieve that same audience size. It says here, CNN had 150 million digital viewers in January, which was their biggest month ever. So by the way, I mean, I assume that by 150 million digital viewers, that's referring to like all of their YouTube video views and Twitter video views and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, still, that's not as big as, you know, 190 million listens. And it says here, Joe has a staff of 4. So he has himself, Jamie, the guy who does all the buttons and the computer. And then I guess he has 3 other people who I don't really know what they do, but maybe they handle the back end. Maybe they do the clips and all that sort of stuff. So then it says here, $100 million for a 5-man operation. Is it enough? Basically, this post goes to say that tradition. So CPM, for those who don't know, I'm sure you know, is
Cents per minute.
well, CPM, I believe, is actually French, meaning something like cost per mil or something per mil. Mil being 1,000 and cost being the money. So basically, CPM is how much dollars you make per 1,000 views, right? So, or 1,000 listens or whatever it is. On YouTube, it would be views. On podcasts, it would be listens. So the standard for podcasts in the industry is about $25 CPM. So I've heard it can go anywhere from $15 all the way up to $50. It depends on what kind of deal you have with the advertiser. It depends who's advertising. It depends how valuable you are to them as an advertiser. So this person says, just assuming a $15 CPM, Joe would still make just under $3 million a month, which is $34 million a year. And that would be the lowest. So I am very sure Joe would have higher CPMs than 50. Joe probably has at least $25 to $30 CPMs, which would mean double 3 million. So I mean 6 million a month just for him and his 3 buddies or his 4 buddies. And it says here, obviously with that math, after 3 years, Spotify would basically make back the 100 million that they spent, if you think about it, because 34 million a year over 3 years, you get that back. And then some. And then you go, okay, well, that 100 million starts to make sense. And then this is so then the guy goes on to say, I'll get into, he talks about how Spotify has bought up a couple of different podcast companies. I'll get into that in a minute, but he basically makes this case that, it's a little bit goofy, but he basically says that Joe Rogan is to podcasting what Michael Jordan is to basketball and what Tiger Woods is to golf. He is just such a big figure in the podcasting world and everyone knows him. And also for reference, this was Spotify's shares when they announced Joe Rogan. So if you can see here, they were ticking up, but they announced that they acquired Joe Rogan and then they had a really big jump. So that was obviously a very, very big success for them. And then the guy links out to a website. But basically what I wanted to say as well, so this has actually been where Spotify has been moving the last couple of years. And you can kind of see it because they bought out this website called Gimlet Media last year for $200 million. A website called Parcast for $50 million. And remember, they bought Anchor, the website we use to post our podcast, for $150 million. So they've already spent, right there, that's $400 million just on podcast, platforms and creators and all this stuff. And then earlier this year, they spent $200 million on The Ringer, which is another podcasting website. So Spotify has just been buying up all of the podcasting websites. They want a monopoly, clearly. Another thing just to add to that is that Spotify, apparently Apple has been, really lagging behind in the way they treat their podcasters and the way they make analytics available and just how easy Apple makes it for Spotify in general. Like I've heard from podcasters that they don't give you specifics on your analytics. They really don't help you grow your audience in the same way that Spotify does. I mean, we have a very, very small audience, but we still get things like geographics, we get age range, so it's the stuff that Anchor and Spotify provides is quite comprehensive, and it really helps you to grow that audience if you want to. And they put you in touch, with Anchor. If you get big enough, they will give you sponsors, basically. They will put you in touch with sponsors, whereas Apple doesn't handle any of that. Apple doesn't put you in touch with sponsors. They are just the platform, you know what I mean, for you to post. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. I mean, what do you think? I
think it's interesting. I don't know if you remember, actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago, PewDiePie actually signed a deal with YouTube.
Oh, I was going to bring that up. I forgot to write that down.
I think it was a similar...
Yeah, huge amount of money.
Yeah. And
I think it was close to 100 mil or something like that.
Yeah, that's a very similar thing. And I think it's interesting.
So basically, PewDiePie's YouTube deal was for streaming, wasn't it? For live streaming. For streaming. He had to become an exclusive live streamer.
He was using a really bizarre streaming site. He wasn't using Twitch. which
Well,
is becoming
look,
more common these days.
I mean, the thing is,
like,
there
you
is
know.
Twitch, but remember, Ninja, who was the biggest Twitch streamer, he went over to Mixer,
Yeah,
which
Mixer,
is owned by
it
Microsoft.
wasn't Mixer though. It was
No,
something
I
else.
know.
But like, I'm just saying, like, he was on some bizarre live streaming site, which is fair enough. I mean, to be honest, I think his move there was because he was so big to go to the smallest place ever, and he was probably trying to not cause much attraction, which is fair enough. But I think with that, it's an interesting move. It's also interesting because YouTube's relationship with PewDiePie over the last few years is notoriously quite rocky.
Yeah.
And I think this is almost a bit of a leeway between them both. I mean, a lot of news sites were posting like YouTube signs like $100 million deal with
PewDiePie,
a racist. Like they were really pinning
they were
a
like
white supremacist, like
controversial YouTuber signs deal. Yeah,
so the guy can't walk his dog without getting called that's white supremacist. You know,
that's what I thought was very interesting is that Joe Rogan is not free of controversy. Do you know what I mean? He is a very controversial figure as well. So I was very surprised that he didn't get a similar amount of, obviously I don't think backlash is good. I don't think I think it's a great deal. But I was just surprised that that's the same amount of controversy.
Well, PewDiePie is where a lot of people point the apocalypse. They point things.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And I think, I mean, I love PewDiePie, obviously. I'm not trying to say anything wrong, but like, I think a lot of people look to him as the reason why there's a lot of...
I can't find a number.
There's a lot of, obviously YouTube's notoriously a bit shady with shit these days, and I think a lot of people point the finger at him. That's the Joe Rogan thing. I think it's again, competition is great, and I do think it's a big slap for YouTube. But I think if this...
Also for Apple, though. That's another one, too.
Yeah, but no one gives a shit about Apple. Like,
No,
YouTube,
but I don't know if you know. Apple
huge,
is Apple Podcasts. I don't know if they still have, but are pretty much the main place people listen to podcasts. I think Apple Podcasts
that blows my mind because I never use it.
The
only people I'm subscribed to on Apple Podcasts is us.
Yeah. Well, I believe Apple Podcasts has about 60
to
70% of all podcast, like not all podcasts, but all podcast listeners.
Really?
Something ridiculous like that. It is. It's
I don't know anyone
number.
who uses that.
It is a very high number.
It's a big hit for YouTube though, and I think
I can't find
YouTube needs it, but it is sad to see it.
Well,
but
here's the way I see it. Right, the way I see it is that I think it's nothing but a good thing because, like you said, competition is good. So I think on the competition angle, I think it's great because it's going to light a fire under YouTube's ass to, be a better podcast provider, but also to treat their talent better. And then I think on the other side, that the talent part, that I think is the best part of all for YouTube, for YouTubers, everything. These platforms, Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, they're all starting to value their creators.
Yeah.
For a long time, I think it was seen that these people created free content. So they're volunteering. We don't have to value them. We don't have to pay them. Where else are they going to go? But now, these big sites, YouTube and Twitch and all that, are realizing, oh shit, they actually can go somewhere else.
I'd pick Spotify over a heartbeat over YouTube. And I say that only because I
for podcasting.
If I was in a buyout and they were trying to both get me, I'd pick Spotify, even if it was less money. I just think that as much as I love and respect YouTube, and I'd still cooperate with them. I would love to, but I just think Spotify is I don't hear a lot of bad shit about it, and I just love the way the app runs.
I think
to no complaints about it.
I love the way that Spotify clearly values their talent.
100%.
Like Spotify understands probably better than a lot of other streaming service. I mean, the rest I think have caught up now, but Spotify has always understood it's the talent first. Yeah. That is the main thing that is valuable. I was watching this video about how Spotify actually came to be so big, and it just talked about how they took so long, but they just were so ruthless about trying to get every single artist that they could and just really pay them and really value them. I know there's controversy about they don't always pay the artists as much because if they get like a free, if someone has a free Spotify account, they don't get as much money from those streams.
Right.
So I know there's some controversy there, but I do know that Spotify has done a big effort over the years in the music side of things to value their talent. And now to see that they're really valuing in the podcasting side, I think Spotify clearly wants to be the king of audio. you know? And that makes me think as well, one thing I wanted to bring up is, you know, obviously Joe Rogan is a comedian as well. And, you know, he does his comedy specials. And I don't know if you know that this is how it used to work, but back in the day, the way that comedy worked and the way comedians would sell comedy is that they would go on tour and they would... So comedy used to be a lot more like music, right? A comedian would go on tour in you know, on stage and stuff, and basically they would record their set in front of an audience, and then they would release it on vinyl. So they would release like a comedy album.
I saw on Spotify all the Joe Rogan stuff, and I went to look him up. It was all his old comedy.
Yeah, so that's what comedians used to, you know, release their comedy as like an album, almost like an artist would release an album. And then they would do the live tours, like the world tour, the national tour, whatever, which is the same way an artist would tour their music. And then a special, like a comedy special, used to be kind of the same as like a concert film. You know how occasionally an artist will do like a, you know, live at the O2 or live at Madison Square or some shit like that. That used to kind of be in that same vein as how, you know, comedy video specials were seen. Now, obviously, it's a lot more common to just do a comedy special, you know, because people want the video, they have Netflix, it's so easy. And also another thing I was going to bring up about the podcasting, you know, part of the reason Netflix produces comedy specials is because they're a big draw. It helps build a comedian's brand. People like watching them, but they're fucking cheap as shit to produce, you know? And when it comes to podcasts, that's a similar thing. They're quite cheap to produce. And, you know, when it comes to music, when Spotify has, let's say, Cardi B signed up to their platform, whenever, say, I stream Cardi B, Spotify has to pay Cardi B for that stream, right? But if I go and listen to Joe Rogan's podcast on Spotify and I listen through the ads, Spotify makes money from the ads. So they don't have to pay Joe Rogan shit. I mean, they've paid him now already. But every time I listen to Joe Rogan, they profit. Every time I listen to music, they have to pay someone. Does that make sense? So like podcasts for them are actually a much more profitable business model than music and being a music streaming platform. I think ultimately the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I think the best sign that it is basically just that streaming services, and that includes YouTube and Spotify, they're finally really valuing their creators. You know, they understand that PewDiePie has a massive audience, and he may be controversial to fucking the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, all these elite, you know, big people in suits, but to the everyday person, they think he's great. They value him as an entertainer, and they want to see him on the platform. And if YouTube can value them and give them money, all the best. And I think it shows that you can be controversial, like Joe is, like PewDiePie is, and actually still have a place on YouTube, which I think for a long time was people's worry, was that if you were controversial, if you weren't like strictly ad friendly all the time, you didn't have a place on YouTube. But hopefully I think this is starting to change, and, you know, this deal and the PewDiePie deal and all that sort of thing is starting to show all these services that, you know, there is a market for talent, you know? Look at that. Dissected the news. What are we, fucking keen? But no, also, sorry, just before we end that, I wanted to say, you know, maybe one day Spotify, that's why I brought up the comedy thing. Maybe one day Spotify will not just host Joe Rogan's podcasts, but what if they host his comedy specials too?
Right.
You know, they say...
I doubt he'll leave Netflix, but...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, would Netflix probably would outbid Spotify, but we don't know what was in that $100 million deal. Maybe part of the deal was do a comedy special with us, you know?
Maybe. I doubt
I don't know.
it,
I mean, look, because I don't know if you know this, but part of Spotify getting Joe is that they're also hosting the video. So Spotify, you will now be able to watch full video.
They do that sometimes on some music
some
videos,
other podcasts and some music videos.
Which is weird. That is bizarre.
It's a bit.
I think it'll be used to it.
I think it'll be an adjustment for people to see Spotify as like a video platform as well. But
it is what it
look,
is.
if they want to get into that market,
I'm glad they're doing it.
all the best.
That's
I think,
the first thing I thought. I was like, how the fuck are the videos going to get?
well, look, they got to grow. They got to figure out a way to survive. And you know what? I'd rather see a Spotify who's doing shit like that and surviving and all that stuff than, I don't know, something like a Snapchat where, you know, they never found a way to properly monetize it. Instagram stole all their ideas, and rightfully so, because Snapchat wasn't keeping it fresh, you know.
I like Snapchat.
I do like Snapchat, but I mean, I don't see Snapchat as a long-term thing. And I also don't see any creators. You know, there used to be a lot of creators
Yeah, they all left
that were kind of exclusive to Snapchat, and they have no reason to stay. Whereas Spotify is giving people a really good reason to actually come over to their platform. And they're saying, look, if you come over, we will value you. We won't take you for granted. You know, we understand that you are what makes the platform enjoyable. So,
yeah.
To finish off this little thing, I also wanted to bring up, you know, obviously Elon Musk and Joe Rogan are kind of buddies, which is such a weird thing to think. But recently Elon Musk had a baby, which I know blew up Twitter and blew up the internet. And do you know what the baby's name is?
I did watch him talk about it on Joe.
Do you know how to say it though?
Isn't it Xavier?
Well, okay, I've got a clip up here, and this is kind of funny, both because
I think it's Xavier.
Joe Rogan basically asks Elon Musk on his podcast.
In like the first minute.
He basically says, how do you say the name of the baby? And yeah, just watch, because Elon doesn't really know how to say his own baby's name.
Yeah, and he was born on May the 4th.
And that's hilarious too.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with him.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be.
I sure hope so.
Perfect.
Yes.
I mean, that was the perfect
He's
day
so
for you.
socially awkward, Elon.
And
Elon is.
How do you say the name?
He can barely say it himself.
Is it a placeholder?
First of all, my partner is the one that actually mostly came up with the name.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah,
Grimes.
she's great at names.
Grimes, yeah.
So,
what a strange name.
I mean, it's just X, the letter X. And then the AE is like pronounced Ash.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe just
And
laughs
then
at him.
A12 is my contribution.
Oh, why A12?
The plane.
Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71.
That's right.
Coolest
So
plane
it's,
Why?
It's true.
I agree with you. I don't know. I'm not familiar with.
so the way,
Ash.
look, not to defend it, I think it's a fucking goofy ass name. But I guess the way you would say it, like if you wanted to say it casually, you would be like
Ash.
Exash 12.
So is a 12 really in the name?
So it's X Ash
ridiculous.
A12.
Ash 12. Ash 12.
X. No, but the start is X. But I don't know if you say X or will you say
it a silent
Zash?
X?
Zash? Yeah. X Ash.
It's there, but it's silent. It's
Would it be
the 12,
X-ash
the
or
12 and
Zash?
X are silent, but they're there.
Well, maybe it could be like Zashe.
So
And then
is
the
it
12 and then the
actually-
12 is silent.
Is it actually legal to call your kid that?
Is it
Is that possible?
is it Zashally?
How do you even type
Legal.
B in the A?
I don't know. I have no idea. I actually don't know.
Is it even legal to say that? Can you even put
I
numbers in your
have
kids' names?
no idea. I mean, what does that mean? You know, how are you going to put that into like a school database?
That's what I mean.
Right? How's the teacher going to do roll call?
Especially a supply teacher comes in. Like,
Yeah, they'll be like-
fuck up the kids' names. and stuff.
They'll be like, hold on, who pranked me? Who put this fucking
That's the
fake
thing.
name?
It's actually bizarre. Surely they'll change it to like.
Maybe
Ash is a cute name.
I feel like it'll
I like
probably
that,
have
but-
a different name on the birth certificate or like on official documents. You know, I'm sure they'll come up with some fucking name.
Is it a nickname?
And then just to finish off this Elon
Something
thing.
more
So,
bizarre.
by the way, this is another thing. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. Grimes is Elon Musk's baby mama.
Very
And
strange.
Grimes' mum actually got really pissed off at Elon. Did you see this? Basically,
didn't.
so this is Grimes' mum, Sandy Garasino. So this was like 2 weeks after the baby was born. I don't know if you remember this. Elon Musk retweeted. There was a tweet that was like,
Oh, about the stock.
take the red pill or something.
All right.
Or something like that.
I know
Elon
he got
Musk
in
tweeted
trouble
that.
because of the stock tweet. He says
he said Tesla's stock is
stock's
too high,
in my opinion.
and then it crashed.
But he put IMO.
Yeah.
You know,
and then all the replies
crashed,
on the
yeah.
tweet were people saying, "Bro, I just lost $10,000. What are you doing?"
Ridiculous, man.
So this is Grimes' mom. Basically, she just tweeted out, if your partner went through a challenging pregnancy and childbirth in the last 2 weeks and you were over 16 years old, would you be blaring men's rights activist bullshit on Twitter right now? So basically she's saying, because
Right.
I don't know if you know, but the whole take the red pill thing has been used by like the men's rights people. I don't think it, I mean,
What, Matrix type shit?
well, I've always thought the red pill is just the Matrix. I
red
know
pill,
that
the blue pill.
there are some people who are in the men's rights movement and they basically use the term, "Oh, you got to take the red pill, man. You got to take the red pill." Basically saying, once you realize how oppressed men are, you'll never go back or some shit like that. I don't know. So she's trying to make that link. I think when Elon said it, I think he just meant from the Matrix. I don't think he was trying to say some men's rights thing. But anyway, so she said that. And then she also said this. So this was the original tweet, take the red pill. And then someone said, "Buddy has a 3-week-old baby. Maybe step away from the bro flakes." And she replied saying,
weeks old.
"Not yet 2 weeks old." So she's clearly pretty pissed at her son-in-law there. So I just thought that was quite funny. Now
They're both very strange people.
Who? Grimes?
And Elon.
And Elon? They are very strange.
They're both very strange.
They're very
incredibly. I'm not sure about Grimes. I don't know what the fuck she does, but Elon is a very smart man. But he's very.
He's very smart, but I think
very
he's
strange.
a bit like, and I'm not saying he's on the spectrum or anything, but he's a bit like Rayman in the sense of like,
Yeah.
he's so smart, but he's so socially not great. Grimes posted that tweet when she was naked, and you can see
so
the baby's
weird.
little
So
heartbeat
weird.
in her belly.
That was weird.
Ay.
That was. I remember you showed me that. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's so weird.
But
It's so weird.
speaking of like the little baby's heartbeat, that's actually why I brought that up. I wanted to segue because this
My
is
baby's heartbeat.
now it's in your corner.
Yeah.
Because I know you've got a bit of a story. What are you wearing over there? You got a little bit of a Fitbit on your wrist?
I got my Fitbit and my hospital.
Oh shit, you got a hospital. Oh wow, look at that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So basically, you had a bit of a thing with your heart this week. Why don't you? I'll let you take it away.
I did. Well, I have had this heart thing.
You've had this heart for a couple of years now.
This heart of mine. No, I've had this heart condition per se for ages now, and I didn't really think much of it.
What?
Which is the scary thing.
What was it? I didn't know about this.
Exactly. No one knew about it. Even I didn't think much of it.
Did your parents know and all that?
Nah,
What?
I didn't talk about it.
That's crazy.
Why would I talk about that kind of shit?
What is it? What's the
No one
condition?
listens to me anyway, but that's the
what?
fucking hard truth. Yeah. I've had issues with my heart for a while.
Wow.
And I say this a lot to the doctors. I put it down mostly to anxiety because I suffer from it a lot, which obviously is an increased heart rate. It has a lot of even the doc was telling me it has a lot of similar comparisons to the issues that I'm having with my heart.
Well, that's the first thing I thought when you told us that something had happened. I was
You
like,
thought I had an anxiety attack?
well, not so much an anxiety attack, but I just, when you said it was your heart, I was like, it's all the anxiety, That was my first thought, was like, it must just have built up or something,
No, it was weird. Like, I woke up on Tuesday.
I mean, over the years. I'm not saying like in a
And-
specific day.
I mean, hey, maybe that is to do with it, but I've had it for a while, as long as I can remember now, at least a year. I can't remember when it started, which is a scary thing. But woke up on Tuesday.
Well, your heart condition, you mean?
Yeah.
What is your heart? Does it have a name?
We don't really know yet.
Okay.
I mean,
all
right now it's all just throwing stuff out there. I mean, I haven't seen a cardiologist yet. I've got my appointment.
Okay, so when you say you've had a
think
heart
I'm
thing,
fine.
you mean you've just been feeling a heart thing?
Yeah.
Like you haven't been diagnosed with anything. You're just saying you've noticed something's been a bit up for the last year or so.
Yeah, I didn't
just
do
kinda
anything
kept
about
it
it
to
because I didn't think
yourself,
anything was
yeah.
wrong with it.
Okay, right.
I mean, obviously there's something wrong because my heart rate was going mad.
Up and
And
up.
I was having
and up.
issues and I felt very faint. Felt very
Oh, shit, man.
felt very like energyless.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's just me all the time. To be fair, so I didn't really think much of it.
So what are you doing there? You're checking your heart rate?
Yeah, so I'll get to the Fitbit, but
Okay.
like I was literally just at home because there's not much work on at the moment, and we took out our mum's laundry. Mum's laundry. You saw your beers in there a lot. We ripped that whole thing out, 'cause we're
Oh,
putting a
you
new
mean
one in.
you mean okay? Sorry, I thought you meant you took the laundry out. I was like, where'd you take it?
Well, we literally ripped all the stuff out.
No, I mean I thought you were talking about clothes.
No. The laundry has like nothing in it.
Yeah,
now.
so
We've
you've
ripped-
renovated
renovating
the,
it,
the
yeah.
laundry area. You mean? Yeah. Okay.
and I just wanted to.
Oh, that's okay. So you're working at home anyway.
Yeah. I was
Like
working
you were
at home.
working at your home.
Yeah, I was working at the
Yeah.
house. Yeah, I mean it's work.
The house you were
I mean,
working at happened to be your home.
Yeah, because there's nothing on, and we needed to get it done. And I was being sent to grab heaps of stuff from the van and walk up a flight of stairs and do it again and do it again. And I felt my heart going. And just as a passing comment, I said to Mum, I really feel my heart going right now, and I really feel faint and stuff. And she's like, it probably is just good if you go get it checked. And it was just a passing thought. Now I needed to go to the doctors anyway to get a new mental health care plan because I got a therapy session coming up next Friday, and I need to get
on that as well.
Yeah, I need to get another.
Well, I got my
plan.
mental health plan. I just haven't booked therapy yet.
Yeah, well, I needed one, and
Yeah.
it finally came in that I could do it again. So I went in to see the doc, and I was like, I need to do
cool.
this. You sort it out for me. And I said, as a passing comment, I was kind of just like, all right, look, by the way, I think I got asthma because I'm having trouble breathing. I'm having trouble breathing in. I'm short of breath.
That would have made sense. Yeah.
Well, that's what my mum thought. She was like, you got asthma,
that's a
I
good
reckon.
guess. Yeah.
So I was like, maybe you can like prescribe me a puffer or something. I don't know. And he's like,
I
all
used to
right,
have one of
I'll check your heart. And he checked my heart and he was like, okay, it's definitely an irregular heartbeat. And I was like, okay,
Yeah. What do they call that? Arrhythmia or something?
something like that. And then he's like, all right, well, we got a heart machine here, basically. Jamie, could you Google that for me? It's like an AEG, I believe.
ECG.
ECG.
Yeah.
ECG. He's like, I've got an ECG machine. And he's like, I need you to strap you up to it. We're going to call the nurse now. And she brought me into the room. And he's like, oh, on the way out, he was like, actually, as well, we're going to get you a blood test. And I was like, wait, no. And I was like, okay. I said, a complete doozy, by the way, because I was like, I hate blood tests. So I was like,
Right.
I'll come back for the blood test. I'll get the ECG, you said?
The ECG. Yeah.
I'll get the ECG now, but I have to come back for the blood test because I'm at work. And that was just like a baloney. I just didn't want to get a blood test because I fucking hate needles.
Yeah. I
I was
know.
like, oh, okay, but you definitely get the ECG because your heart rate's not great. And I was like, cool, whatever. And I sat down on the bed like this, and she's strapped about. It's like kind of like stuck to my chest.
Yeah, I saw the photo.
Yeah, and she stuck about 10 of them to me. And I was just chilling in Cedar Rapids. I don't give a fuck. I was like, oh, cool, here we go.
Got the
Nothing's
day
wrong. Nothing's wrong at all. And I was just sitting down, and she did my heart, and she's like, I'm just going to go and call your doctor in quickly. And I was like, fuck, why is she doing that?
Oh, God.
I'd never seen that before.
No.
And my doctor came in, and they had a quick chat, and I couldn't really hear what they were saying. And then she came up to me, and she said, all right, I got some really bad news. And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm calling you an ambulance.
Oh,
And I was
fuck.
like,
That's
what?
fucked.
Are you kidding me? I
Jesus.
if I wasn't sitting down, I would have fell off my chair. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I was like, what? Is this
Where were you? Were you just at a private practice?
I was at the medical center just up there.
Right, okay.
Not far away from home. And I was
Yeah,
like, what? This was a passing comment that I brought up my heart, by the way. A passing comment.
Fuck me.
I
And then
barely
now they've
brought it
called
up.
you an ambulance.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
hang on a minute. I said, look, my parents at home, one of them can take me. I called up Dad and I was like, you're not going to believe this. I need to go to the hospital.
Fuck.
And they were like, what? And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to go. So they drove me to hospital and I got in. It was quite scary because that hospital in particular I went to up there, 20 minutes away, was a notorious place where they got the coronavirus victims.
Yeah. My mum stayed there as well.
Wasn't really that scared, to be honest.
Well,
I
my
wasn't
mum was
trying
there
that,
when she had her knee replaced, and she said there was like very few. It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I fucking swapped it.
It was in one specific ward as well. I think it was the pregnancy ward, I want to say. So
Pregnancy ward.
you wouldn't have had anything to worry about.
No,
anyway.
it wasn't really an issue that I was worried about. I mean, I went in and they were like, "What's up?" And I'm like, I had to answer these questions, and they gave me like the ear thing where they tested my my heat and all that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was fine, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna send you to the ward." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, this is insane!" And I got separated from
Did she
Dad.
cancel the ambulance or what?
Yeah, she cancelled this. That was fine.
Because I was gonna say, would you have just got charged for that or?
Yes, here's the thing.
That's crazy.
I had to sign a disclosure saying if I had like a heart attack on the way to the hospital, it's not their fault.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why they called you the ambulance. Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Fair
look,
enough.
I said I was barely going to bring up
the heart thing anyway.
So I'm like, I don't think I have a heart.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Well, I was getting worried when you texted me.
Yeah.
No, obviously, you were only telling me what
I
you
texted
knew.
you and Mitch in the group chat and said I'm going.
Yeah, you told us both that you were headed to hospital. You had these heart things. I was like Googling everything you told us, and I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna have a heart attack. I was getting really worried about you, man.
They were worried. They're like, my doctor told me when I got there, he's like, they put me in I did like a Jesse. They put me in a wheelchair. And they pushed me along. And I was like, this is crazy. And they put me in a bed. They'll like strip your clothes, and I was in my undies, and they put me in a fucking.
They were like that
gown.
too.
Yeah.
Take him off.
It's like gone. And then they sat me down. They're like, what we think's happening, we don't really know, is that like you've got like arteries in your heart. They don't know yet, but they think one is doing this and one's doing that. So one is going really quick and one's getting clogged. So I have what most probably is happening is I have the start of a blood clot.
Fuck.
Which is a bit of an issue.
That's not good.
The worst my heart rate got was when I first arrived. My heart rate got up to 180. So for a comparison, mine's at 84 right now.
Jesus.
My heart rate just
How did you feel when it was like that? Could you feel that it was high?
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it was awful. I mean, my heart is literally just pounding.
What
on
was
my
it like?
chest.
Were you like, were you faint?
I was hyperventilating. What didn't help is I got in and they all kind of sat me down.
Shame.
And
So you were kind of stressed about the situation.
yeah,
as
it was
well,
kind of looking at me, and then they say to me
that
the
sucks.
worst thing I ever heard all day was, all right, we need to take a blood test, and I was like, fuck. I saw a little thing there.
Oh shit.
And they said to me, we need to get a blood test. I was like, fuck's sake. And then
God.
I hated that. They took a blood sample. They strapped me to a drip, and they put all these things on me again. They started monitoring my heart. What really worried me is that I was about to get a blood test, and I literally said to Jess, I'm like, it's just really a problem. I didn't even want to come in today. I don't think it's a big deal. And she said, look, the normal heart rate is around 70 to 100. Right now, you're at 180. And I was like,
fucking
bruh.
crazy.
I was like, bruh. And I was like,
Jesus.
okay. So yeah, strapped me to a drip, and they took me up to get an x-ray.
Oh my God.
So I had to get out of bed. And I don't know, do you remember Walt got the whole, like, he had to do this and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that. And so there was nothing wrong with my lungs and stuff. They were worried that was what was with the breathing. There was something wrong with that. And they checked my blood, and everything seemed to be okay there. But they weren't happy with how high my heart rate got, which is a scary thing.
I Googled it
Yeah.
because you texted us how, or you messaged us how your heart rate was at 180. And I Googled it, and it basically said that your max heart rate, like the highest it possibly could go, should be 220 take away your age.
Jesus.
So 220 take away 21 is fucking 199. So I was like, if your heart rate is at 180 and your max heart rate should be 199, I mean, that doesn't sound good to me.
That's the problem. And he literally said the whole agent to me. He was like, normally we see that heart rate in people who are about 50.
Well, you said, I can't remember what you said exactly that you had. You said something about a enlarged left ventricle or something like that.
Yeah, there was something. That's the thing. It's all a bit blasé.
I was worried about you, so I Googled all the shit you
thanks,
fucking
man.
sent us. And I mean, I'm not trying to say this to make you feel bad, but the thing I was reading was like, it is it's more common in older males, and I was like, fucking hell.
It blew everyone's mind how young I was, and I was having those heart rates.
Shit.
Which was scary.
Did you ever, oh, fuck me. Sorry. Did you say that you had anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
Did that make them go, oh, it makes sense?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, they were saying it's hard sometimes because it's kind of similar. That's the whole thing I was telling you about, how they say how similar two things are. What did annoy me and upset me?
What, anxiety and high heart rate?
Mm.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, what upset me is that...
What amused you mean?
It didn't amuse me. I wish it did. Nah, I went with my dad, and I was about to get taken up to the X-ray ward, and I could hear him talk to the doctor outside my curtain. I could hear him. I don't know if you thought I could or couldn't. Either way,
oh no,
I could hear him.
Oh, this is
and it did upset me because he was like, "Look," he's like, look, he will probably get a bit nervous. And then, just the way he said it, it's classic though. He's like, he puts it down as anxiety. And I was like, oh, come on.
Oh my God. Wait, your dad said
Yeah.
he says it's anxiety.
It's pretty much. It puts it down. And I'm like, bro, like,
Sucks.
if this is the reason why, like,
If this doesn't show
I'm
you-
at 93 right now and I'm just sitting here,
You're just talking about
which
it.
isn't a great thing.
Well, I mean, you're putting your head back into it though. I mean,
Yeah.
You're going through the motions.
I do remember though, it was pretty funny. Like, I needed to piss really badly. It's funny, I was so hungry and I needed to piss. And I remember when I went to the doctors, I was like, I'll get some lunch afterwards and lads.
Yeah.
I mean, I was strapped to a drip and I had like 12 things strapped to me. I couldn't piss. They gave me this weird little like jug thing.
What?
And they were like,
To
all right,
pee?
they're like, we'll go out. And then I remember I got my wang out and I kind of like stuck it in and I was like, sat there for a minute. I'm like, it's not coming. It's not going to come in. It's not going to come out. Well, I had to.
That's
Like
hilarious.
a jug thing. And I was
That's
like,
so funny.
And the nurse came
I
back
always-
in and she was like, did you go? And I was like, I couldn't do it. And she was like, that's okay. If I was in your spot, I couldn't do it either. I was like, I'm surrounded by all these other people.
For a girl, it would be even worse. How would they
Yeah.
even do it? Like,
She was really nice. They were all lovely.
at least a dick, you got
They
a
were
place
all
to put
lovely.
it. That reminds me of there was this Carl Pilkington interview from ages ago.
You sell the water. Yeah, you tell
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I just need to go to the toilet.
You've talked yourself into a piss, haven't you? But no, so there was this Carl Pilkington interview from a couple of years ago that I always remember. And the interviewer, I can't remember exactly how it went, but the interviewer said something along the lines of, Carl, when you're on a road trip, what do you do if you have to pee or something? And he said, that's why you always bring a hot water bottle on a road trip. That's what you always want to bring on a road trip is a hot water bottle. And they were going, why, Carl? And he said, well, if you ever need to pee, a hot water bottle's the best thing for it. Because it's got, the way he described it is because it's got the big lip, it's easier for your dick to fit in, and it's like, it helps, because I mean, if you just had a water bottle is quite a small little entrance, so that's quite hard to get your thing in and like get the trajectory. But the hot water bottle, it gives you a lot of like leeway, so you get lucky.
You did get me going with the old.
You got yourself going. You were talking about peeing. So
the
what was
drip-
the conclusion? So
Well, yeah, it's the thing. I kind of left and like, I'd been on this trip, which sent my mind like in a fousey. Like, I wish I could say
Fousey
it.
tube.
I wish I said I got like a really cool like high off it, but
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, it just discombobulated me.
yeah,
Like, I was just-
discombobulated. I love
I was
that
just
word.
like, I was just a bit like, I just felt dizzy and bright, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
this
fucked.
wasn't really that
Well, you
fun.
mean the shit they gave you?
Yeah, I don't know. It was made to lower my heart rate, so which is
That's
interesting.
crazy.
and
man.
it definitely
That
works.
is crazy.
And they're like, all right, well, look, we're gonna have to. We don't really know much to do here, but we're happy to let you go because your heart rate's gone down. They just said we need to get you in touch with a cardiologist, which means you need to contact your GP, which happened today. He called me and says,
Oh, that's good.
so and then I got a call from the cardiologist today, and they're gonna set me up for Monday. And it was just, frankly, it was just crazy. It kind of blew my mind that it all happened. I clearly got a problem, which is, it's depressed me a lot. Like I've been in a shitty mood all week. I'm not happy about all this stuff, and then this happens, and then it's like fuck, and then I mean, the doctor said to me, "Do not go to work."
Oh God. Did you? And did you?
I didn't want to, but you
Yeah.
know, and then that fucked me off.
Yeah. Okay.
That fucked me off. And then he highly suggested I got a Fitbit, so that's what I'm doing right now. So I can
Well,
just
that's where the
track
Fitbit comes in. So the Fitbit, that's why you check
so
it.
that's that. Yeah, so I'm at 9.2 right now,
Yeah. So that's what the Fitbit's
which isn't
for.
great.
The Fitbit is how you can
I'm just
tell your
sitting
heart
here.
rate, Yeah.
But
Well, what's it supposed to be? Do they tell you what it's supposed to be regularly or
for a
resting?
20-year-old, it's 70 to 100. But a good
Okay,
one,
so-
a good one is like 70. Yeah, but when you're reaching 100, it's not great.
Right. When you're reaching 100, it's like
yeah,
I need to do some yoga. Yeah. Okay.
you could say that.
What about meditation? I know you talked about that a couple of months ago,
Well,
or maybe longer.
I've got to stop.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't help, but
Well, I
mean,
got
do
to
you
stop
think it
having
would
as
help?
much caffeine as I had. He mentioned the drinking, and he mentioned like drugs and drinking, and I was like, maybe.
Well, you know, when you first told us about the heart thing, it wasn't my first thought, but you know, one of the thoughts I had was like, fuck, we drink too much.
Well, he did say, I don't know if I told you this, I know I told Mitch, somehow the x-ray scanned my liver, and he was like,
really?
In my form, it says a bit of a fatty liver, which didn't surprise me at all.
God, I fucking wouldn't want to see my liver.
A few too many broken hearts, as I joked to a few nurses about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you? I was gonna actually text you, say, you know, if you want to tip with the nurses, just tell them you got. No,
they were lovely. Everyone was so nice, and a lot of people. I was very blessed. A lot of people hit me up, and
yeah, that's good. That's
a lot. Even people who surprised me, like Keelan, hit me up from. Oh, sorry.
Oh, fuck you.
Sorry. I've done
At least the camera was on me, so I'll bleep that out now.
Write it down, you twat, before you forget. No, but he hit me up. A lot of people in the UK hit me up. A lot of Dad's friends did. A lot of people were worried about me. And look, I'm not out of the park yet. I don't feel very well. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't feel very well. I haven't for a while. And it's weird. I think the most important thing to take out of this whole thing is when you do have even mild symptoms or something, get yourself checked out. I mean, for God's sake, I wasn't going to go. I didn't even, it didn't cross my mind to go for my heart. And they called me an ambulance. I was in the emergency ward. I got sent straight for it. I didn't have to wait a second. They sent me in immediately. And, you know, that's the thing. Those little things you don't think are anything.
Just get them checked out,
to be honest with you, I know we had this chat a couple of weeks ago, but like, I do think it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
Because if I kept going the way I was, they could have had a heart attack or something worse, or a stroke, or.
Imagine if we were filming. Just on the show. I don't know what I would do. Would I keep recording for the clout, or?
I love it. So I'm just on the floor, and you're like, well.
I'm like, the clickbait.
You put
we have it finally.
All the way down the floor.
Get the heartbeat. Get the.
Look, at 91 right now. You know, like, it's just. I don't know. I can just. Sometimes I can just feel it going. Hey, and I haven't had a coffee.
No, I think
since Sunday. I think so.
A beer.
I didn't have any. Beer. I didn't have any caffeine that day as well, which was
that's
crazy.
crazy.
I had a single tea.
I think you're right though. I think that definitely is the lesson of the story is, you know, get checked if there's anything, and not even just physically, but you know, mentally as well.
Thumbnail already.
Conor tells the story of his, and I'll be like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You didn't know?
I'm like Keemstar right now.
I didn't tell you first. I didn't tell you when it was happening. You're like, wait, what? And I want to film a whole video.
But by the way,
been so nice.
I did.
Even Josh Snares commented on my photo.
Yeah, I saw that. That was jealous. Very sweet.
So.
No, I did. You know,
just let's get away from that subject.
It's funny when you brought up the alcohol. You know, when I recently got my mental health care plan. By the way, the reason I haven't been to therapy the last couple of weeks is because of fucking COVID. My therapy place has been closed, and they did have a center. Well, no, actually, so my therapist works at 2 centers, bless her, and the one center, her main center is in the city. It's a bit too far away for me to travel. There's one that's closer that I prefer to go to. So I always go there. Even if I have to wait an extra week, I just go, well, you know what? Just put me at the place that's more convenient. And basically both of the places closed. So I couldn't go for a while. And then one of them reopened, but it's the one further away. And then I was like, no, I'll wait until my closer one reopened. And it might have reopened. I haven't checked yet. But anyway, I went and got my mental health care plan during COVID because I was like, well, you know, I've got a couple of weeks before I'll go back to therapy. I may as well just fucking go and get it.
Yeah, good plan.
And my doctor, my GP, a really nice guy. His name is Juan. I think he's from like Mexico or some Latin America place. Sweet guy. But he was asking me about all these questions for my mental health care. I don't know if you got the same thing when you went for your mental.
No, they were just giving me it. No, they're kind of just
well,
like.
If they know you,
how's it been going? And I'm like,
shit.
It's all right. I mean, I don't really change.
Well, my guy was really sweet, and he actually said, "Yeah, I might, you know, maybe you should see him," because he was really nice. He said to me, "I don't know who you have. Do you like your GP?"
I do. I'm tired of pretending I don't.
Sorry.
No, this guy's...
If you do, that's great.
This guy noticed my heart was shit.
Oh, no, there you go. You've been saved. No, but my guy, I'm just saying my guy was really nice. He said to me, he was going through, because they have to ask a certain amount of questions for a mental health care plan. And he basically said to me, look, I don't like putting mental health as like a number, because a lot of the questions are like, how does he feel from 1 to 10?
Well,
and all this shit.
I've done that with another GP.
Yeah, so he basically said he likes to give a lot of extra notes.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he likes to. He was saying that he doesn't think that like the generic forms give you an idea of who the person is, and I totally agree. So he was quite thorough. He was like, look, give me a proper answer, and that way I can just add a little note and just give a proper idea. And look, I mean, he knows that my therapist knows me already because I got free sessions from my employer. But it was nice that he put in the extra effort. But anyway, the whole point I brought this up was that it got to like alcohol and drugs, and he was like, so the way he worded it was so funny. He was like, so drugs, when was the last time you did drugs? And I was like, when? Why are you just assuming that I fucking have done drugs? And he was like, and I think he was very specific too. I must have been dressed like a fucking, druggo, because he was like, I do. Today, I've changed, although I do have my fucking...
That's the classic druggo.
My dressing gown on, but I had even worse before you came.
Is that possible?
But he what did he say? He was like, marijuana, how many times a week? And I was like, whoa. Or something like that. He was like, marijuana, how many times you do it a month? And I was like, excuse me. How dare you?
How dare you be so
5. That's a joke, folks. Anyway. And he asked me about drinking, and he was like, so how often do you drink? And I was like,
like, sit down, get ready to sit down, doc. He's like, I'm sat down. Good.
You don't want to be standing up for this. No, he was like, how much do you drink? And I was like, well, I drink, probably once every weekend, maybe Friday and Saturday. And he was like, how much do you drink when you drink? I was like, like 8 to 10 drinks a night. And he was like, it was actually really funny the way he answered it. He was like, well, that's quite high. It's not uncommon, but it is quite high.
No, it is.
He was like, he basically was like, it's normal, but it's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, everyone does it, but they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So he was a nice guy.
It's incredibly unhealthy. They asked me, they're like, so you drink socially? I'm like, yeah.
They were like, do you drink anti-socially? And you were like,
yeah,
I do as well.
That's the thing. Like, whenever they ask me, like, they're always like, what, 1, 2 drinks? I'm like, are you kidding me? Do they seriously think that?
1, 2 drinks.
Kids
Who
our
does
age?
that?
So I mean,
Especially kids our age.
They always say,
yeah.
what, 1, 2 on the weekend? I'm like, are you mad?
Wait, on the weekend?
Yeah, that's the
Are
thing.
you
They always
joking?
say maybe 1, 2 a fucking weeknight. But, they normally say that. I had a GP who was like, so how much do you drink on the weekend? Maybe like 1, 2, 3 drinks. I'm like, what? No,
During the whole weekend?
I'm like, bro.
Who am I?
No.
A certain actor we know?
Oh, God. How are we doing for time?
We're doing pretty good. We're at
When's the
50
meeting
minutes. We got time. Don't worry. They only started at 6, so we got somewhere to be, folks.
It started 46 minutes ago.
No, it didn't start 40. It was like, get there anywhere after 6. Do you know what I mean?
So 46 minutes ago.
No, we got time, okay?
Bro,
We'll do
what
at
the
least,
fuck?
we'll do about an hour and a half show today, I reckon.
What?
Personal opinion. Don't worry, I've already told them we're going to be a little bit behind. Don't stress.
I don't know. It's just a bit rude, isn't it? Rocking up 2 hours late.
I gave them heads up. I gave them full heads up. Before they even planned it, I told them. I don't know how that's possible, but I did.
Yeah, how is that possible?
Well, my next segment that I want to introduce to you is actually has a graphic to go with it that I've been preparing for some time now. So get ready. I'm just setting up this graphic, this visual aid that you're gonna love. It's a great, lovely. Where is it? There we go. A nice visual aid. Let me just. There we go. Fix that. It's time for Dan's Meme Corner. How do you like them apples, huh? It's time for a good old time with Dan and some memes. You ready, Connor?
No.
Yeah.
I think I can take it.
Connor's least favorite segment. If Connor was ever
100%.
going to have a heart attack, it'll be
Goes
during
on for
this
way
segment.
too long.
Fuck you. This is going to be short. This is going to be short as shit.
Every time.
No, I promise.
It's always like shit.
I specifically chose short ones this time. I promise.
Every time, folks.
I promise. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay?
Let's do this.
So basically...
that was well done.
Yeah, that was a good guess. I was pretty sure it was there. Fucking let's do this. So this first one that I'm showing you, let's do this like, prime, quick. Let's fucking get it. Basically, this is a bit of a sad meme. I'm not trying to bring the fucking mood down, but basically...
Dan's meme station was supposed to be funny.
Well, that's why I started with it's kind of funny, but it's funny in like a morbid kind of way. It's like a very dark... It's not even humor. They're not trying to make it funny, but basically this is so ridiculous. This fucking place in Colombia created hospital beds that can be turned into coffins.
Oh my God. That should have been what I was in the other day.
It's a hospital bed.
Oh no.
And then for COVID, obviously, for coronavirus.
drops
And if
into
the
a
person
coffin.
dies, it just becomes a coffin. So
I love it. Cardboard beds.
I just thought it was... Look, obviously it's a bit morbid. I just thought it was hilarious because it's like...
Look, it's kind
Are
of
you
practical.
kidding me that like...
It's kind of practical.
Well, it is, but at the same time, it's like, do you really think that many people are going to die that you're like, you know what? You're pretty much dead already. So we'll put you in a fucking
Herschel.
We'll put you in a hospital bed that's basically a fucking coffin.
I felt like I was in the coffin the other day.
So I just thought that was a fucking fat meme. See, there you go. One meme down. That's quick, short and sweet.
I guess.
Now we got, okay, this one is fucking hilarious. This, I'm not sure if you've seen this. This is basically
No, I haven't seen this.
Okay, this is not the Pope, but this is like a preacher or
Is
like
he
a
Catholic?
priest. He is Catholic. Well, I'll let the news reporter explain it because he actually does quite a good job at explaining it. So let's just have a look for ourselves.
A priest in Detroit has come up with a creative way to bless churchgoers. Has come up with a creative way to bless churchgoers while social distancing, using a water gun to squirt holy water at them.
Are you serious?
Photos of the drive-through style blessing
What a
have
photo.
been shared across the world, showing the 70-year-old priest wearing gloves while squirting water. as
Is this
parishioners
priest? He's
drove
got a
past
fucking
the
water
church
gun and he's
for
got a
Sunday
mask
service.
on. And basically it's like a
When there's a will, there's a way.
He's got like a drive-through. He's got like a drive-through fucking blessing station. So you know how, I don't know if you know this, but they actually do.
I'd love to go for that.
You know they actually have drive-through confessionals.
Yes.
So you can actually drive through and confess.
I should do that.
Basically, this guy has a fucking drive-through blessing station, but instead of being able to bless people by hand, he has a mask on and he's fucking shooting them with a water pistol, which I presume is holy water.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What is the difference between is holy water just like
No,
the,
it's just you've just blessed it. You've just been like,
oh, okay.
whatever you do.
So it's a bit like Belle Delphine's like
Yeah.
what is it, bathroom
You
water?
know that meme in The Simpsons where everyone thinks Flanders Bay is in holy water and that's why.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Can anyone
that.
bless holy water or is it just a priest?
Oh no.
It's just
We're like, we'll pour a beer in it. Like,
you just bless the beer.
no, you can't.
Holy
no.
beer.
You have to be. No, you twat. I don't know if you remember, but there's a few. I've been to a baptism and he goes.
Yeah,
like,
I have. No, I have as well.
And
They bless the water, yeah.
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that's so fun. Do you think he blessed the water before he put it in the gun or after?
No, he probably
That's just-
he probably blessed a bucket or something and then filled up
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
pistol.
yeah.
I don't know how it works. I'm not
But how funny
religious.
is that? Because I mean, when they bless you with holy water, don't they just do a little cross on your head or something? Wouldn't it be bizarre as shit to get fucking like sprayed in the face?
When you're baptized, traditionally you should be.
You get dunked. Yeah, you get dunked. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you don't get baptized. You can't do a drive-through baptism.
They just grab your head and slam it into a bucket of water.
Just fucking do
In
it.
Corona times, they just chuck a bucket of water
Yeah.
at you. And you're
It's like the ALS ice challenge again.
yeah.
So this next one, this isn't so much of a meme. I kind of wanted to just get your thoughts on this. Again, we'll keep this sort of short and sweet for time. But there's this article. So here's
Oh
this
yeah, of
article.
course, yeah.
International travel won't return to normal until 2023, despite coronavirus restrictions lifted in Australia. So I saw a little bit of almost, I want to say clickbait a little bit. People saying that this means that people won't be able to travel until 2023. That's not what the article is saying. What the article is saying is that international travel won't run at the same capacity and frequency until 2023. So there will still be you'll still be able to travel between countries, but it's just saying, I think specifically the article says something about the traffic they had in 2019. There you go. The baseline scenario, which is 2019 levels of traffic, aren't expected to be seen until 2023. So it's basically saying
obviously,
we're not going to go back to normal, quote, normal until 4 years or 3 years from now, which I think is pretty crazy. I mean, what do you think?
So Stormzy will be able to come to Perth.
He'll be able to come, but maybe not all the
Do you reckon
fans.
in December?
December? Yeah, I think so. Well,
wow.
actually, here's the interesting thing. Here's kind of also why I wanted to bring this up, because so they've also said part of the whole international travel, they've said domestic more popular. They've basically said that, you know, a big part of the travel tourism industry going forward for the next couple of months, maybe years, will be focused on domestic travel. So like Australia, which has actually dealt with coronavirus pretty well, specifically WA has dealt with it great. We will probably be over and done with this pandemic before the rest of the world.
Oh, 100%.
So we'll be able to travel locally, but not internationally.
There are 3 cases in WA.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I saw that.
It's bizarre.
3. It was like 7 a few days ago. Now it's 3.
Oh,
it's
God.
like
we're doing so good.
We're getting so close to ending.
We're going to the fucking pub tomorrow.
Oh man,
yeah, boy.
Fucking love that.
Like, look at that. We've come a long way.
I am so happy to see it. But that's the thing is that, I mean, you know, we're going to the, it's not just that we're going to the pub, but we're going to the pub with knowing that we'll be safe. Do you know what I mean? We don't
it's only
have
20
a worry.
people. And we're there. We're going to be there for an hour and a half. And you have to order food.
There are so many cautions in place that we know we're not at risk, whereas other countries are still at a huge amount of risk. China, I think, I want to say Wuhan, but somewhere in China just had a second wave, you know? So it's like, and China was the first to be hit. So now they're having it's fucking crazy. But, you know, basically it's saying that a lot of tourism will be local, domestic. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy to go to fucking Melbourne, Sydney, Queensland. I'm even happy to, Margaret River, even
it's
up
happening,
north.
folks.
Everywhere. Like, we need to book our fucking Margaret River trip, by the way.
But
I'm heading down to Mandurah. I'm going down to Mandurah with
when the pub's open.
friends in a couple of in July. So, you know, it's like,
but the pubs be open by then. That's what I'm saying. Like,
once the pubs will be open, that'll open it up a lot more. But anyway, my point of this whole thing is like international travel. I think unfortunately it does mean, if you know, I know we had spoken about like a Britain tour, like a UK,
the Europe tour,
trip with the boys. Probably won't be possible, and you know that sucks. But at the same time, if it means we get to explore Australia, I think that's okay.
It's going to happen anyway.
Well, that's the thing. It might not have happened anyway. But
I eat my fucking hat.
I think it's a very interesting thing that it won't go back to normal. I don't know. It's quite crazy. It's unprecedented times for sure.
I'm over it. Just give me a pint tomorrow.
I know. Honestly, I want to just get back to fucking drinking like a sailor.
You already do that. Don't worry about that. You're just going to do it publicly now.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I just want to go back to drinking like a sailor in front of people.
Yeah.
So this next one basically is a bit of a, let's swap that. Bit of a fat meme. So this is also
I love social distancing.
a coronavirus social distancing experiment. Basically, this is a bar. I presume somewhere in America.
This is a bar. It's open. It's like a fucking...
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's a bar or like a theme park. The description,
like a car park.
Yeah, I know, but the description says it's a bar. The video makes it look like it's more of a theme park, but basically what they've done, I'll play the video and I'll explain it. So they've made all of their customers sit in like a fucking, you know, when you go to a water park, I'm just describing it for the audio listeners. When you go to like a water park and you have to wear like a rubber ring to go down a slide.
They call them donuts.
A donut, yeah. Everyone is wearing this massive fucking rubber donut.
It generally does look like they're at a water park.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it looks like a water park, but it says it's a bar, so I don't know. Maybe it is a bar, but they basically have to wear this rubber ring.
And they got drinks as well.
That has that it's like but it's also like a walker. You know, like a walker that like old people have, where it's got the wheels on the bottom. So it's this rubber ring with walkers, so you can basically walk around And the
You
whole
can
point
sneeze all you like, and no one will get you.
and that's the thing. The whole point is that it forces people to social distance. Even if they want to leave these people, even if you want to get close to someone.
Could you imagine us tomorrow
can't.
having to jump into them?
It's fucking, yeah.
Right, boys,
exactly.
Let's get our first pint selfie.
Yeah. Wait, who has the wide camera with the
Yeah,
selfie stick?
there you go,
You need a
can.
selfie stick and a wide
the
camera
wide, I'm
just to
like-
get everyone in. Like, how would you even pass the phone to someone? Could
Yeah.
you take it? Oh,
To the waitress. I don't want to touch it. You got corona.
the waitress and you are like reaching over with the fucking rings. Like,
Literally, only 3 in WA. We're all good. We're all good.
no, we are good. No, we are good. We
We're
are
ready to
good.
roll.
And then, so I wanted to also, so this is the last sort of thing I wanted to show of the memes corner.
Oh, Dan's meme corner is almost over. Wow.
It's nearly over. So this is, I'm not sure if you've seen this, and I'm actually, I don't think you've seen this. Does this ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay.
I know the song.
I think you're going to love this. Do you know the song that they're singing?
Yes. It's on a lot of adverts at the moment.
Oh, what is it?
What, the song?
Yeah, what is the song?
We're all in this together.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, good. So you don't know. That's even better. Okay,
Okay.
so this video
Sorry, everyone.
is. I'll just play it. I won't even.
Alright.
I'm sure you'll be accustomed with the song. It's a bit of a niche song, but I'm sure you know the song.
All right.
Let's just get to it, and you'll definitely be surprised by the celebrity appearances. Basically, this is what the Imagine video. Do you remember the
Is that
Imagine
who I
video?
think it is? David
Cross, yeah.
That's, yeah. I thought
Missed the
so.
show, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
do-
Who does
do
it
you-
with Bob?
Do you remember the Imagine video?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Imagine there's no heaven.
That's right. So this is the Imagine video that we should have got all along. So let's just experience this together.
I like his beard.
Oh fuck! What did I?
How come you're always such a fussy young man?
Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran.
He's in both.
Well, you
Hi,
don't
Bob.
know that other kids are starving in Japan, so eat it.
Real.
Just eat it.
Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about the kind of food you hate.
You won't get no dessert till you clean up your plate. So eat it.
I don't care if you're full, just
Eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg.
and beat it. Have some more chicken. Have
Do you know
some
this song?
more pie.
Have some more chicken. Have some more pie.
Have some more chicken. Have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried.
Just eat it. Eat it.
It's a Weird Al
eat it.
song.
Just
It's a parody.
eat
The
it.
beat it.
Woo!
But eat it.
Yeah.
Just eat
Table
it.
manners are a crime.
Some of these people I have no idea who they
Playing
are.
with your food like it's
I
some
think-
kind of game.
Now, if you start
I think
to
they're
death, you'll
Mr.
have yourself to
Show
blame,
cast
so
members.
Eat it.
just eat it.
You better listen, better
I think
do
this
as
guy's from
you're
Arrested
told.
Development.
You haven't even touched your tuna casserole.
You better try
Ryan's in
down before it gets cold. Just eat it.
I don't care, so eat it. I don't care if you're a fool, just eat it.
I love it.
Eat it. Eat it. No one wants to see you beat it.
There you go.
Have some
They
more
love it.
yogurt. Have some more Spam. It doesn't matter if it's fresh or canned. Just
Eat it. Eat it. Don't you make me repeat it.
Have a banana. Have a whole bunch. I don't care what you had for lunch.
Just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Have some more chicken.
The man
Have
himself.
some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it.
I do remember.
Just eat it. Just eat it.
I do respect Weird Al filming
We're all in this together.
in landscape and in HD.
We're all in this together. We're all in this together.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, so I do remember listening to that song many moons ago. The Beat It, Eat It.
version.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes
yeah.
fatter,
So that
and in music video he keeps getting fatter.
that yeah that
Yeah,
is funny. So
yeah.
that's basically basically Bob Odenkirk and David Cross's version of it. I think a lot of the Mr. Show cast, Mr. Show is like
Where's
Bob's
David
old
Cross's
show.
cameo in Better Call Saul?
Well, that's the funny thing. You can see Bob obviously called all the Better Call Saul actors.
Yeah.
You know, there was Kim in there was Nacho, there was fucking
That's
Chuck.
lit. That's
it's
lit.
amazing. It's great. And
That's
Brian,
lit.
even Bryan Cranston
Fucking
did.
Brian.
So I thought that was great. So that's the meme corner. Or that's most of the meme corner.
Is there room for a toilet break?
Yeah, you can go for a toilet break. I'll set
Thanks.
this next video up.
You do have a pretty good bladder, Dan.
I do a good bladder. Yeah, man, I got bloody resilience.
I do.
Look, I don't know if you can. Oh, it's literally just behind. Oh my god, that's hilarious. It's just behind the lighthouse. But I've got a beer tower brewing right now. When it's done, you can see it. It won't get that big this episode because I'm not drinking because I'm fucking hosting. But the next thing I wanted to show, I didn't want to make this in meme corner specifically. Because fuck Alex Jones, but I wanted to show you these clips. I'm sure you've probably seen this. This is about Alex Jones eating ass. Oh, so you haven't seen it? Okay. Well, this clip, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with Alex Jones, Connor, and the audience. Alex Jones, very controversial radio host. Well, I don't know what you'd call him. Radio host, podcast host, InfoWars man. Madman basically, but he went viral very recently for this quite hilarious clip. And I'll just show you. So this is the clip. It's quite hilarious. I just want to get your live reaction on the show. See what you think of this.
I'll admit it. I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years since I got food and stuff. But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will. I'm combat model, optimum self-sufficiency, probably the leader. The point is have you thought about that yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up my neighbor, how I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up? I'll do it. My children aren't going hungry. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
He is a wild character. He is just a wild,
They really
wild
did when
man.
they rebooted J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU. They really did make
They made him InfoWars.
like a
They made him an Alex Jones spoof.
Strange, isn't it?
Like a parody, yeah.
Why would they do that?
Alex Jones is a wild. Look, I think he's a fucking like wild person. But I do think it's for show. I think the whole point is to be a joke. I think he's putting it on. I think it's funny. So I'm not dissing him necessarily, but I just think it's funny. This, I haven't seen this, but this is, someone said his neighbor. So this is a bit of a response video. Let's see if this is worth watching.
Dude, I took my kids trick-or-treating at your house. You either gotta stop making these fucked up videos or I'm gonna change my Wi-Fi password.
Is that Ray's neighbor?
No, that's a comedian. I follow her. She's a comedian. So then what I wanted to show you, part of the reason I wanted to show the original clip, this is a 15-second clip, but do you know Jones Ivor? They're a musician. Basically, this is a parody, but this is it's like a parody. It's like a auto-tuned version, but this is the real OG version of what Alex Jones should be.
I'll eat your ass. I'll eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I will eat your ass.
He's a very strange man. So people actually listen to him and
he's a bizarro character.
People really listen to him and go, "This is the man. This is
our guy.
Do you reckon?
This is who we need."
Really?
Oh yeah.
People
People love him, bro. He tells the truth. He tells it like it is.
What, eating his neighbors? That's the truth.
He has the bravery to admit
I don't know if
that
my
he
neighbours
would
worth
fucking
it.
eat his neighbor.
My neighbors hate me, so maybe they're trying to eat me.
Well, my neighbor, actually, that's the next topic I had written here.
What happened now?
No, it's not a big update. It's a very, very short update. I have a very short update on my neighbor. Basically, the other day, she admitted to us.
Okay, so she did.
Essentially that she took it. No,
So
what
she
she
did.
said, well, here's the way she did it. Okay, what she
Okay.
said was, we were out there. She was locked out of her house, which I guess fucking happens all the time. I don't know how they got locked out. She was like, oh, my 2 daughters are both...
2 of them.
She has 2 daughters and a son. So she has 4 people who live
What
there.
camera looking at?
I don't know. That one. Look at your camera. What?
I'm Macaulay. Yeah.
The dad's there. I'll be like, that'll be
Oh,
my
the clip.
thumbnail.
Yeah, that.
But basically, my
The angry, light. Yeah.
but no. So essentially, what my neighbor, she got locked out. She has 4 people living there, and they don't. The way she said it, she was like, my 2 daughters are out of town.
Where?
I don't know. They're fucking camping or something. I don't know. But basically, she was like, we had a spare key, and one of them took the spare key, and the other spare key we kept with the guy downstairs. But then they got locked out, so they had to borrow the spare key again. So now they've got no spare keys, and she was like, and the other spare key, we keep it under the doormat. Don't tell anyone. And I was like, you're literally telling the one person who you shouldn't tell where you keep your fucking spare key.
Why is that?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't tell my neighbors where I kept my spare key. I suppose if...
That's like such a cliche. That's
Look,
the classic robber who checks under the doormat.
Literally, that's also... I was like, that's the most cliche place you put a fucking
You gotta
spare
like
key.
hide a key rock.
That's exactly... Yeah, literally. Yeah, the key rock.
Yeah.
No, so then she was like, so I got locked out because my daughters are away. They both have all the keys. And I was like, why would they go away and not leave you a pair of keys? Anyway, so she's knocking on our door. She was like, I'm locked out. Then it gets even weirder. She doesn't just... She's like, I'm locked out. Both my daughters are away and they have the keys. Can you jump the balcony, go through my house...
Oh, so you did that.
And unlock my front door. So I had to jump over the balcony.
What was it like in there?
It was weird. First of all, the weirdest part, not the weirdest, but it's like a mirror of our apartment. So that's kind of weird.
I
It's
thought
like,
it would be.
yeah, well, that's what I assumed, but it was just kind of, it was weird. It wasn't weird that
Was
it was
it
a
messy?
mirror. It was just weird that it's like, what should be here is over here. Do you know what I mean? It was just weird that
Was
it was
it
like
messy
a
as
mirror.
fuck?
Oh man, you wouldn't fucking
Was
believe.
it dirty as hell?
Oh my god, there was shit everywhere.
Do they
Like
have
I don't mean
animals?
to
Do
talk.
they have pets? Did it
They have
smell like shit?
We're not
and
allowed to
stuff?
have pets, by the way.
Did it smell like shit?
It didn't
Like
smell.
piss, shit?
I didn't really look around. I didn't smell around,
Okay,
but
interesting.
there was definitely a doggy.
Normally, it's the first thing that hits you is the.
There was like a doggy. Well,
Just the
look,
piss
I
and
was in a
shit
rush. I was
smell.
like, I don't want to
You
be
weren't going
fucking.
like, I'm trying
Yeah,
to-
I wasn't sussing it out. I was like, I want to be in and out as fucking little time as I can be. But no, basically, there was a doggy like cage, not cage, but there, you know those like like you have like a kid little fence. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that for a dog. So they obviously had that. And I think that's where the dog was supposed to be, but I didn't see a dog. So maybe the dog was with the girls. I don't know. But the place was a fucking complete mess. There was shit everywhere, like shit on the coffee table, just everywhere. Like, I'm not one to judge. I'm not trying to judge or anything. But yeah, it was just a total mess, you know. And and look, part of it, I feel bad. I think probably the lady has a little bit of something going on. I'm not here to judge per se.
Mental issues.
Perhaps, but yeah, it was fucking weird going through that. It was just weird that she asked me to go through, and then she said the best thing. She was like, "You must think I'm some crazy lady, but I'm not." And I was like, "I didn't before. Now I do. I don't know. I did before, but it just." You shouldn't say that. If you want people to think you're not crazy, don't say you're fucking not crazy. So that happened. And then also on top of that, we got more bins. Before we had like 1 bin between the 2 of us. Now we have 3 bins between the 2 of us. Because what happened was one of our bins for the apartment block got broken and the council took it away. And then our neighbor on this side, so that side's the crazy one. This side, they have a bin, but they didn't want to share it with us. So they keep their bin in the garage all the time. So then we sent an email to the landlord and said, look, there's only 1 bin out there. And so then this morning, the council dropped off 2 more bins. So now we've got fucking a shit ton of bins. So the update to my living situation is that it seems like I have shitty neighbors that side and that side, but things are getting back to normal slowly but surely.
Wow, what a great story.
We're adjusting. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I love hearing about Dan's
I'm funny,
bins.
damn it.
I love hearing about Dan's bins on the podcast.
Fuck you.
It's just a trashy lifestyle.
I didn't prepare that story very much, so I'm sorry if it didn't come off as polished as it should have.
What's next? Go on.
You're next. You're next. Your fucking hiking story is next. You're drone on for us, you dickhead.
So this is actually a vlog which is coming out soon. Whenever I
can go piss. That's how it amused me.
I'm not upset.
You didn't upset me.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Oh, shit.
Here we go again.
Fuck you.
All right, ready? No, that's not it.
I disagree.
Right, where's the?
This is how I work.
Where's the countdown?
Yeah.
Where the fuck in there and you'll find it.
You're not happy with me, are you? All right, here we go. Sorry. All right. All right. So I actually filmed a vlog on Sunday, which is hilarious, and I actually have 3 videos which I haven't edited. One's the story about my hospital story, because a lot of people don't watch the podcast on my channel, which is fine. Other one's about one which is about dating in quarantine, which I filmed like 3 weeks ago, which I haven't edited. And then, which is classic. And then he's just looking at me like, you twat. And then, yes. And then the other one I did was on Sunday when I went on a hike with my good friend Johnny, who's like my DJ friend, who got me like DJing and stuff, which is lit. Jesus, Dan, stop. Jesus, all right, Dan's tooting. I don't know if you heard that. Stop. Oh my God, bro. Fuck. Went on a hike. It was 4 hours all in all. We hiked to a place called even I forget now actually. But anyway, it was these rapids basically. And then at this Serpentine Falls. Yeah. Which is a beautiful spot. It's a really popular spot in Perth for people to go to. Oh my God. And I guarantee the mic doesn't pick that up, so Ellen's going to look at me going, what the hell are you talking about? Dan keeps tooting as he goes to the toilet. I don't ever do that, by the way. Anyway, it's a huge spot to go to. You used to be able to swim in there. Now there's some algae in the river, which is apparently bad for you. I heard the ranger talk about it, who told me off. He spoke to someone else about it as I was walking out. I'll get into what happened there in a second, but he was talking to someone about saying, the media really jazzed it up a bit. It's not as bad as it looks, but people weren't swimming in there. Apparently it was really cold, but I didn't really touch the water. I didn't get a chance to, because we went on this hike and I was filming a vlog, and Johnny hasn't done YouTube for years, so I felt really bad because he was fine with it, but I was like, I'm going to bring my camera with me, and it is hard to vlog with someone who
definitely
doesn't YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is hard to
film with someone who's not used to filming.
I get it with Mitch a lot, a good friend and friend of the show. He's always like that kind of thing. Like, it's hard to do it. He's great with it. They were both great. We never complained once. Mitchell definitely has, but Johnny didn't complain once, bless him. But it is hard, and I did always feel like an inconvenience with the camera, which is a shame. But anyway, it was about a 2-hour hike there and back, and then 2 hours in we hit the Serpentine Falls, and then I got there. I went to the actual place where the falls is, and I was like, okay, John, I want to get a quick drone shot of the falls. He's like, cool.
Why'd you go on this hike in the first place, by the way? Just for context.
He
asked,
it
more of a health thing, or
he
was
asked,
it more
he hit me up on a work day and said, do you want to go on a hike with me? It's like, I work days. Aiden knows I work days. Clearly he knows I work days. But yeah, I was like, sorry, I can't. But I was like, I'm really keen to do it on the weekend. So we planned to do it on the Sunday.
So it wasn't much of a health thing. It was kind of more of a catch-up. I mean, hikes are great.
This was this was like what? A day and a bit, 2 days before I had my heart thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy,
oh, shit.
by the way. So I went on this whole hike a day before I had my heart thing. So I clearly had it then. But he hit me up and we're like, we should do it. And then, you're right there.
Trying to build a fucking beer tower. Fuck you. What if that just spilled all over the computer and fucking sparks fly?
You're not like me. You finish your beers.
Yeah, true.
We're gonna do it on the Sunday that he said, and then it was Mother's Day, so we did it the Sunday after, which was the Sunday just gone, and we got to the Serpentine Falls, and this is classic. I will call Johnny out for this.
Yeah.
Go on. I went down to do my drone. He was like, "Oh, I don't know, Connor, because there's a lot of people around. And I was like, look, man, if someone tells me off, they tell me off.
When you're a filmmaker.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You gotta be like that.
I said, bro, if someone tells
like
me
that.
off, someone tells me off, and he was like, I'm going to go to the toilet. And I was like, okay, fine. It annoyed me a bit.
Maybe, hold on, I want my thumbnail for the podcast to be me staring at these cans.
It did annoy me that he did leave, but anyway,
Well, he left while you flew the drone.
Yeah, so I walked all the way down, and about 20 people were watching me, and it was a bit intimidating. And by the way, I'm just trying to get back into vlogging again, which was the scary part and the sad part, because I was a bit like I was having some big self doubt about the whole thing. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a really good shot of the whole falls, which looked beautiful. Anyway, I sent my drone up. I got a really cool pan shot coming up. And then I went to turn my drone, and I was like, I'll get some cool shots of like the scenery, and I'll come back down and get some more shots. This
nice
long-haired mammoth
what?
appeared out of nowhere. It was a man.
Shit.
And he was like, I've got this on film, by the way, and not intentionally.
Oh, shit. We meant to get the footage
well,
so we could show it.
Nah, I wouldn't have brought it on the show. I'll show it in my vlog. And I'm not trying to call him out, and I'm not going to try and... I'm going to complete in the audio.
He had good intentions.
I'm going to distort the audio.
Okay,
I do not want to get anyone in trouble. I've done this before. I've got in trouble with a few nature people, and I've distorted the audio and every single one of them because I'm not trying to get anyone to lose their job or anything. And I had a few problems with what he said, and I made that very clear. But I did say
controversy.
He was like, all right, you got to bring the drone down now. And I was like, all right, I'm bringing it down. And then he's like, look, the reason why...
Did he work for the park?
He did. He was like a ranger.
Ah.
He's like, you got to bring it down. The reason why is because there's a lot of people around, and you could crash the drone, and it could land in the water, and the battery could decompose, and it could toxic the water, which is already toxic, by the way.
Me? Really?
I had very good comebacks, which I didn't say. I had a few comebacks, but I didn't say this. Number one, that's not going to happen. Like, it's very rare.
First of all, look.
Very rare.
Okay. I get it. There are a lot of really cheap and shitty drones out there, but I know you got a fairly cheap DJI drone, but it's like...
Fuck off. Are you mad?
No. What I'm saying is...
$700 is cheap.
No, what I'm saying is compared to the other drones DJI sells...
DJI Spark is not cheap.
What I was going to say next was DJI is not a cheap brand.
No, it's not.
They fucking make drones that are designed to not be shit and to not crash. So it's like... Even the cheapest DJI... I know there's a drone even cheaper than your one. It's called like the Tello or something. Even if you're flying the cheapest fucking DJI drone, I would have faith in the fact that that's very rarely going to crash.
Another thing, I'm sure yours has it
too. Well, not crash, but it's not going to cause issues in the way
Mine has motion sensors all around it.
There you go.
And I didn't say this to him because he just seemed a bit of a twat. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't make a big
Well, they
fuss.
have the whole fly home thing as well.
That's what I was doing. And I said to him, I was like, all right, I've clicked this button. And I showed him me clicking it. I was like, it's going to come home now. And my drone, at this point, I looked up and I was like, where the fuck is it? So I didn't really know. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put it down. He's like, okay.
The thing is, they're so small, it's hard to see exactly where they are.
What annoyed me is that he's like, okay. And he didn't leave. And I was like, all right, I didn't say something.
I need to see you land it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, for God's sake. I'm like, but then my fly home and I was like, hang on, I was like looking up, I got an eye on it. And I don't know about you, but when my fly home gets to a certain height, I like to manually put it down.
You have to, I
like to manually do it.
I agree. No, I do the
like
same.
it doing itself,
I do the same.
especially around water.
I agree. I agree.
And as I'm bringing it down, I'm like, can I ask, why do I have to bring it down? And he was very defensive at first, and he was like, I don't make the rules. I just abide by them. And I said, okay, but I said, look, can I just say something? I said,
but what are the rules? Yeah.
I was like, I said, this is going to go out on my YouTube channel. I said, I'm not exploring this place. I'm making this place look beautiful. It's going to make people want to come here, especially in the times we are in now. Yeah. I said, it's going to make people want to come to Perth. Yeah. It's going to make people want to come to Australia. It makes the place look beautiful. If anything, it's going to bring more people here, and it's going to be great for the park. I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. I said, what's the point? Like, what is the issue here? And he just didn't want to have anything to do with it. He's like, it's the rules, do it. And I was like, okay.
The thing is, I get...
Very strange.
I get his points about... if it breaks, if it falls, all that shit. I get that. I understand that.
You can't swim in the water anyway, just quietly. But
sorry,
you can't swim in the water at the moment anyway. It's notoriously algae.
Okay, here's the thing though. Drones have like max, like 25, 30 minutes of fly time. Could he not have just...
That's like 15.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the best drones have like 25 to 30 minutes tops. So it's like, could he not have just come to you and said, look, you know, I don't want your drone to crash.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just make sure that
his points did become a bit invalid
because
he literally said
well, how long had you been flying when he came up to you?
Oh God. Luckily, can I just say so I did get a good shot. So I've been like a minute and a half in, so I got a good shot.
So it's fairly early.
From the ground up to past the falls and past all the greenery.
That's cool.
So I can use that in my vlog. And I said to him, I was like, I got footage and I'm going to use it. And he was like, do what you like. But I was like, and he kind of
That's why you turn the recording on as soon as it fucking leaves the ground. Yeah.
I always do that.
Same. Yeah, same.
I always do that. Yeah. And
everything is usable potentially.
His point was, he said to me, he's like, if no one was around, you could fly it. And I said to him, well, that doesn't stop it from flying into the water. And he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, okay.
But the thing, look, okay. Here's one to play devils to be on that guy's side just for a second.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who flew a DJI Mavic Air, which is the same one I have. Mavic Air, same one I have. The Mavic Air 2 just came out. It sounds like a fucking great drone. But the Mavic Air 1, I've never had any issues with mine. I fucking flew mine into the ocean, but that was kind of...
That does sound like an issue.
There's a more... To take you back. No, basically I flew my drone in Africa over the beach, and it didn't land in the water. It landed like 5 meters away from shore. So it landed in the water. But the thing is, I didn't properly calibrate it when I flew off. So
stupid idea.
I should have. I reckon if I had properly calibrated it before I'd flown it off, it would have landed on the beach and it would have been fine. But because I just quickly chucked it up, flew it, when I clicked return home for it to land, it landed.
So you didn't cancel it and manually fly it?
No, what happened was it lost connection. Because I think we were in such a remote area, it lost connection. So when a drone loses connection, or a DJI drone at least, it automatically turns into return home mode. So I lost the connection, so I couldn't see where it was on my thing. And drones are so small, you can't see where it is in the sky. And mine just automatically started to fly home, to return home. And basically, because I hadn't calibrated it perfectly, I mean, it actually got pretty close to where I flew it off from. So it was pretty good even without the calibration. But obviously, because I didn't calibrate it, I had to like guess where home was. And it literally landed like 5 meters away from fucking dry land in ocean. And then it broke. So, but my point being, if you calibrate it properly, which I'm sure you did, and I would if I was that. But the only reason I didn't was because we were in a rush at the time. Because we were on a fucking island in Africa and we had to leave. So like it was a very specific use case. But other than that, my DJI drone has been completely fine. It's been great.
Yeah,
it's worked in every situation. And but to play devil's advocate, like I said, that happened to me. I also know a guy who was flying in Queensland when I went to Queensland. I was flying my drone and he noticed me flying my drone and he was like, "Hey man, how you going? Do you mind if I gave him my email. I don't think he ever emailed me back because he was like, I was flying my drone and it just fell out the sky. But here's the thing. It was his problem because what it sounds like he did was he didn't put the battery in all the way, if that makes sense. You know how the battery has to like click in?
Click in, yeah.
So he didn't probably click in the battery. So while it was flying, the battery must have just unclicked. Do you get what I mean?
Shit.
So the battery must have just fell out and the drone just dropped out of the sky. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fucking donkey.
Well, he didn't sound like the fucking sharpest tool in the shed. But anyway, so he was like, so do you mind if you send me some footage? Because I was flying my drone in this beautiful place in Queensland. I have a video on my channel about it. Daniel is Weird, if you want to watch it.
No thanks.
Big Things Are Happening, I believe is the name of the blog. Fuck you. But basically...
Cheers.
I know that sort of shit can happen. It's just so rare.
Yeah, it didn't though.
It didn't, and to be honest, in your case, I would doubt it would.
I think he he was a bit of a
Also,
dick
I
about
mean,
it,
the
though.
thing is, okay, what he should have done is come up to you and say, I see you're flying your drone. You go, okay, yeah, I am. He could see you had a connection to your drone. He should have just said, look, do you mind if I just make sure that you don't do anything inappropriate, that you land your drone, you know?
Well, can I say?
Because what are you going to do? I mean,
well, here's the thing. And it really took a shift on my vlog, because after that, I really got on the subject of the idea of vlogging and the idea of disturbing the public. And I had this whole thing after that whole conversation happened, and him not really believing in me and in flying it and even just landing it.
Yeah.
That when I left the falls, a lot of people kind of looking at me like I wasn't doing anything wrong, but they just assumed I was because he came over. And another thing that really,
but also
that fucks me up about the whole drone thing is that people sometimes think you're trying to be a bit pervy.
Yeah.
I'll happily invite anyone into my house to, if I was trying to be a perv, zoom in on someone to see a load of pixels just quietly. So if I was trying to do that for any bizarre reason, which I've never had, by the way, if I was trying to do that, if you zoom in on someone, it's just fucking pixels.
The only way, I was gonna say, first of all, the only way you could properly perv on someone with a drone is
so
if you were
close.
literally
just
flying
hovering over
in their backyard. Anything else is pretty much unusable.
I think there's like little kids around. Sometimes people get a bit. I'm like, come on, like.
Look, the thing is,
You're up here, like-
I think what would have been the difference between you flying for another 5 minutes or not? I mean, you're not gonna crash it.
I mean, he must have known he pissed me off, because on the way out, I was walking out, and again, Johnny had gone off somewhere, so I was like, where the fuck is he? And then he pulled over me again. He was like, you can film anywhere but there. You can do like here, and here. And look, I was just like, you know, fine, whatever. I didn't fly it again the rest of that day, because it's just like, it's just not worth it. Like,
yeah,
I just didn't feel like it. It just didn't feel right. Like, I don't know, I wasn't up for it.
I get that. No, I get that. I mean, it sounds like he was
a bit of a twat, you know.
And again,
I'm not trying to exploit him, but you know, and I won't. Oh my god, it's not my camera.
Don't worry. You keep talking. I'll go replace the battery.
Don't worry, we're gonna end it anyway.
I got something to show. One more thing to show.
We're late.
I know. Just finish the story.
We're late.
If there's finish the story about your hike.
That is pretty much it.
Well, what happened the rest of the day? Say what happened the rest of the day.
Oh my god, fucking hell's bells.
Camera on you.
There is no camera on me. That's why you're standing up to change it. Fucking hell's bells. There's not much to say, and the vlog will come out soon. And I got the whole thing on record, and I'm not trying to exploit anyone. My issues was, you know, I wasn't really exploiting anyone. I wasn't trying to film anyone without their consent. No one was even in the shot. I was getting a shot of the fucking falls. Not a single human was in it. And you know what? I really was self-conscious about it. It got me in a bit of a shitty mindset, and then a day later I got sent to hospital for a heart problem. So, you know, by the way, my heart rate got to 117 a second ago. So
don't worry, you
and
will be okay.
Just sitting here.
You'll be okay, and I know it.
I love BK.
Listen, I think that guy was just
so very late for a party.
We're gonna be there in a second, okay? I think that guy was just kind of exercising his fucking. Oh, I can tell you what to do. I think. Look. Most people don't understand drones. They look at it and they're like,
he
like
must
you said,
be up to no good.
Yeah, exactly. They must be fucking perving. They must be doing this shit. It sucks.
The last thing I would ever do, ever, would film someone without their consent and perv on them. It's just so not what I would do.
Also though, if you were gonna do that, why would you do it so openly
and
as
publicly.
You were doing
You'd be
it?
hiding in a bush.
Yeah, exactly.
The drone over.
If you were being a perv, you wouldn't do it.
Hey, one more thing. When I was walking away and I met out with Johnny again, he was hiding in the bushes pretty much.
Really? He was following you guys?
No, I was walking back home, back to the car, which is like 2 hours away, and I was walking that way and I was talking to Johnny about what happened. Because Johnny texted me and he was like, I hear someone talking to a ranger on a walkie-talkie saying there's a guy flying a drone.
Really?
At the falls.
Wow.
Go and stop him. So Johnny hit me up. Johnny hit me up on a text, and I was too busy flying my drone to read it, so I didn't see a guy was coming. Anyway, I was walking past her enjoying the story, and a guy stopped me and said, "Oh, you were the guy down at the falls." And I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." And then he was like, "No, it's cool, man. Like,
yeah,
I was literally just about to pull my drone out.
Yeah,
that's crazy." And we had a good chat about how, like, you know, we weren't trying to exploit anyone, and it was a really nice chat.
Yeah.
He was a really cool guy. And I was like, look, I don't have an issue with him saying that. I said, but the thing is, like, you know, I respect he's got a job to follow, but I was like, you know, I'm just filming the beautiful scenery, you know.
Well, there you go.
And you know, a lot of people felt the same way as I did, you know. And it was like, anyway, the vlog's coming out next couple of weeks. You can watch it. I don't care.
People will love it. The best vlog ever. All right, last thing. We can finish up the show. We can finish up the show, I promise. I just wanted to show this. This is a fat meme, okay? You better appreciate the meme.
I've already seen it, but yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, well, I wanted to show it to the audience, and I wanted to get our live reaction. We'll talk about if this is an accurate... So this is Dr. Phil that we're about to show. Oh, wrong one. This is Dr. Phil talking about... well, let's just let Dr. Phil take it away.
Okay, here we go again. This is Dr. Phil showing his ignorance today, but I've been in quarantine, so I'm spending more time on social media than normal. So I've been finding things that I have no idea what the hell they mean. Come on, guys. You need to give me a translation guide. Here's one. Simp. S-I-M-P. Now, it's like, I am a simp for Dr. Phil.
We need to clip that. We need to soundboard that.
Idea. I have no idea. This could be something really dirty or something really stupid. I don't know. I need help. Give me some help. Translation guide, please.
He does this a lot.
Okay.
I love how those are his only options. Is like it's either dirty or stupid.
It could be the most racist term, or like he didn't even know.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. No, but even he acknowledges he's like it's either dirty or it's stupid. It's like he doesn't say that it could be good.
He does this a lot.
What about
memes? He just goes, there was another one he did.
I reckon, look, I don't mean to...
And I ooped. I don't know what that means. Yeah,
I think he's got to have probably one of the best PR teams because I don't know if you saw ages ago, he posted a meme of him like smiling or whatever.
Or with a knife.
No. It was just him smiling.
Big knife, small
it was like
life.
a selfie. No, it was a selfie and it was like felt cute, might delete later or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he gets on the memes, man. He fully rides the meme train.
Big knife, small wife.
Yeah. Big knife, small wife. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Makes him sound like a fucking
That's the thing. I reckon it's his PR team saying, all right, Doc, you got to fucking listen. This meme is blowing up Twitter right now. You got to jump on it because people love that shit, baby. They fucking love to see the memes of Dr. Phil. So I reckon he must have a good PR team. That's keeping him fresh and healthy to the youth.
I'm at 113.
Oh, stop worrying about your heart.
I have to worry about my heart. That's why I spent 170. Actually, can I say?
What are you fucking?
When I am a simp for Dr. Phil.
This is you.
Well, I'm a simp for Dr. Phil.
Oh no, where is it? This is you.
Now it's like I am a simp for Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
that's fucking you right now.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I have a heart condition. I actually went to get a refrigerator today for the whole. We were renovating the whole mum's room. Went to get a refrigerator today from JB Hi-Fi. And as I was there, I was like, well, you know, I need to get a Fitbit, so why don't I try and get one?
The tower is complete.
Do you even...
I'm listening. I just wanted to complete the tower.
You know, when you're talking, I don't fucking build towers and say shit.
I wasn't...
Do you know what? Forget it. We're in the show.
Finish.
No,
finish your story.
No,
finish your story.
You do it a lot and I'm over it, so...
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Right.
Can I apologize?
Goodbye, everybody. We're ending the show. No, I'm not having it.
Come on.
No.
Tell the story.
No.
You know I'm a producer at heart. I need the story to be told.
I'm a producer at heart. I'm not having it.
Tell the story.
No.
Last story. Finish this off.
No, you can wait till next week.
You really want us to finish with Dr. Phil?
Yes, I do.
All right.
You do it all the time. I'm talking, you cut yourself doing some random shit. I'm over it. So that's it.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
We're ending the show.
I am sorry.
It's okay.
We can end the show, but can you just you don't have to accept my apology.
Yeah, I accept it. It's
but
fine.
Can I just give you an apology?
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
I am genuinely sorry.
I don't have the buns. So, by the way, if I did have the buns, I wouldn't do it anyway.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was just trying to have a show here. I was just
It's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't trying to...
I was telling a story, but it's all right.
I wasn't trying to interrupt it. I was just trying to...
Don't worry.
I was just trying to put shit in there while...
It's fine. It's fine. It's a great...
It was supposed to be...
It's a drama way to end it.
It was
before the 50th.
Will we make up? Will we be friends again?
Probably not.
I don't think so. You may never see a 50th.
I'll tell a story next week about my
if you see a 50th,
JB Hi-Fi woman who made me buy warranty for my... See, that sounds like a fun story. I'm not going to tell you.
If you ever see a 50th, then you're lucky because we might not get there. Well, that's how much beef we have right now. Look at him. He's over it.
Yeah, I am.
He's quit the show.
I just want to go out. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. I almost hit your fucking tower. It almost hit it. Oh my god! Why the fuck? Why didn't you do it in wide?
I thought it would be more suspenseful.
Why did you just do it in wide?
I killed Kenny
again.
I'm a bastard.
See, I don't think you can see that in wide. Sorry, in the angle that you did.
I don't know. I made a cinematography choice. Okay.
All right. You know, we need some fucking beef on the show sometime. I'm glad.
Sometimes we do.
Called your ass out.
Well, you know what? I apologize.
You got nothing to call me out for.
I know. I wish I did.
You don't have anything.
I wish I did.
Because I'm a good host.
Oh,
I don't do anything.
You know what?
I don't do anything. I don't do anything. It's been more than 50 episodes. Technically.
Yeah.
And I've done nothing.
That's fucking right. You've done nothing.
I've done nothing wrong.
No, you've done nothing full stop.
Okay.
Look at these notes. Who do you think made these notes?
I sent you my notes.
Bullshit.
You're making my heart rate go up.
All right. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
For the 50th. Get ready for it. Yeah, baby. It's going to be a throwback. Goodbye.
See ya.